G'day gamers, Wobbot here, Filthy Wobbot 74 with some Extermination gameplay I got the other week. Now this is where you've got 4v4 and if you wipe out the opposition before the timeline you win the round. So it's, you know, a bit of like round robin type of gameplay. I do extremely well in this game, which is very rare. I do 13 and 5. As you can see, it's quite laggy. But Wobbot gets his pistol shot in, ripping the straight ripping and going balls to the wall, playing this game. And for a while I was using it for the commentary and at the commentary at hand, and that is why gamers should watch and support Esports MLG. Now I know a lot of you are going to say, why bot? Why? Well, okay, let me just, before we get into it, let me just talk to you about how esports can be good and how it can't be good when it comes to games. Now what I've noticed with Halo, Call of Duty, Rainbow Six Siege, and PUBG recently, and Overwatch is it's there. You know what I mean? It's not really in your face every day. It's there. The game's not always designed around it 100%. It has a separate playlist to it. It is and has multiple different games on all these different platforms. So you know the MLG or esports, whatever is there, and it could be bloody good. Now MLG got Halo back again, as you saw. It was Orlando this weekend, which is, I prefer MLG to ESL. I don't really know what the big difference is, but at the end of the day, it's esports, and you got to support your local teams, Pete. So let me start with I'm an Australian. My local team, Mind Freak, and I like how Mind Freak have done. Now, I'm not even going to start talking about Gears of War and how it's negative there. That's later on the vid, so trust me, Pete. So I'll be talking about it. But with Mind Freak, man, like they were on console for Rainbow Six Siege, and then of course the comp just went no consoles or PC, which is the way it should be. Makes it more entertaining to watch, makes it really intense. It is a bloody good game, and see you later. Thanks for coming, pal. So they went from console to PC, majority of the players, and they did extremely well. They got to the semi-finals in the recent one in the Invitational, 6th Invitational. One of their players got to play in the All-Stars game. And I'm bloody impressed. I'm over the moon that they did that. And it's great for an Australian team because their internet's not really the best. But when it comes to Rainbow Six Siege, there's plenty of teams to scrim against. And it's a very tough game. A lot of sweaty try-hard bastards in the community, but these guys represented us really well. And I'll link Aches' channel in the description down below. And he's from Mind Freak, and you'll see how good a Rainbow Six Siege player he is. PC, of course. Then there is the Call of Duty Mind Freak team, which recently, look, the latest Call of Duty to me is very boring. It's boring as batshit. But I'm super duper proud to see an Australian team do well, and they locked Optic Gaming out of 100 in hardpoint. And what that means is, when it came to a hardpoint match, they beat Optic Gaming without Optic Gaming getting to 100 points. They got 250. This is hardpoint. This is against Optic. This is against a team which has a great internet connection, scrims with regular professionals, trains pretty much 7 days a week and plays COD 8 hours a day every day, up against an Australian team. I don't think they can play that much, and that's half of them scrimming against other players because they're limited over here, and they did well. So that's why you should support them, because the beauty of supporting these esports when it comes to these games, and Halo, they came in the top 16 for Halo, is it keeps the industry going in Australia. Keeps the connection better for us. We want to keep them going. Keeps the future for games. And if you, as a young, aspiring person, is not so good with physical sports and wants to get into esports, here is your opportunity. This is where esports is good. It's good for university students in the States. They can pay off the university degree. A lot of the top-end players don't need to go to university because, trust me, they're earning a shitload of money. But, you know, they like the competition. You've got to be fit, all that kind of stuff. Like, it's just awesome to watch, and esports is great. Like, the latest games I saw on the weekend, particularly of Halo 5 with MLG, congratulations to Splice beating Optic, was just second to none, man. It was just unreal to watch. And same as, Call of Duty World League, and definitely, believe it or not, sometimes Overwatch and other games like that. It opens up the doors for you to do well, or a future if you want to get into gaming or be a competitive gamer. There's nothing wrong with that at all. The downside of esports is Gears of War 4 is the perfect example. Have you noticed when you buy the skins in Gears of War store that there's less skins down than what there used to be? I don't think Splice is representing in it this season just yet. The region lockout has made it virtually impossible for Mind Freak to compete or scrim or get good Extermination gameplay. They've got to play, against other players here and there, and it just, they know too well, and you don't really learn or go well from there. And peeps, that's not how it's meant to be. So, and the bad thing about that is they've just got one game type, escalation. And escalation is great. It's like, why was it 4 or 5 games in one go? It gets to me, personally to me, and I love Gears, it's boring. It just gets, escalation just gets boring. It's escalation after escalation. Why don't they just have like Guardian or something else, or Guardian, definitely, not team deathmatch. You got Guardian, yeah, escalation. You don't need King of the Hill. What's the other one you can have? You can have Wingman, stuff like that. All these different other game types that Gears of War have, which make it more tactical and fantastic the way it is. Dodgeball particularly as well. I love that one. Put it in there, but nah, it's just escalation all the way. So it's a lack of imagination in my view, because when you watch Halo 5, yes, I'm going back to that. Recently, my love for this game, and particularly watching it, it's got 4 different game types on 4 different maps. Capture the flag, hard point, or collecting the dodgeball, whatever. It's got Slayer on it. It's got all those things, and so it makes it interesting. It makes it more fair in my view. It's just really good, and of course, there's more variety of maps. Yeah. So that's where esports is bad. But I generally think in the end of the day, you don't look. Everybody says, "Oh, because all esports influence here and there." It probably was for Advanced Warfare and a little bit more for Infinite Warfare, but not in this recent COD. No way. And definitely not for Black Ops 3. Definitely the next Black Ops. Definitely, I'm keen for that more than anything. I won't lie, peeps, but. It's there, and you can avoid it if you want to. With these games, you can avoid it if you want to, but with Gears, it's just wham bam in your face. It's all about esports. They've made a whole playlist to it, and then when they do that, they lock half of the 3/4 of the world out from playing it or competing in it properly online. Where's the fucking genius behind that? I mean, yes, this game might be laggy, but at least got a chance to play against people overseas. At least to find a game quicker than I do Gears of War 4. So. Yeah, I'm a big believer in esports. I'm a big believer in supporting them. It's a hobby you're into, and I like some of the players that play it. They learn sportsmanship, discipline, not to be too cocky or arrogant. They get put in their place. And you've got to follow people like Optic Hex and see how the TK team do well, how FaZe. One of the most interesting players I know is Clayster from E United. He went from FaZe, he played in Optic, he's been in Envious, and he was in one of the best teams of all around the complexity in the Black Ops 2 days. He is one of my favourite players to follow because you listen to the way he talks. Now, he studied psychology at university, so that guy's got some tricks up his sleeve. Clayster is an interesting person to listen to hear what he talks about, his criticism of the leagues that he's in. So he's a player and an esports person to follow. But frag tab, but good days on you. Always keep it positive. Next video will be Gears of War 4 before I go away on holidays. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, smack the like button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Catches.